What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NFL video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into a $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. Winner of Week Nine's videos giveaway is going to be Peter Chipedza. Peter Chipedza, congrats. Hit me up on Twitter at Cam_ATL, or if your last name sounds around about Chipedza, because I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. If it kind of resembles Chipedza, hit me up on Twitter at Cam_ATL. Thank you guys for joining me as always. As you guys know, I randomly pick a video and just slide comments and stop my finger. And lately, I've just been landing on some tough names to say. So sorry if I'm screwing your name up, Peter, but congrats on the win. Thank you guys for joining me as always. This is Week 10's first look lineup vid. Last week was one of those weeks where the first look beat out the updated version closer to lock. It ended up doing very well last week, so I'm excited to get into Week 10. Most of the time, though, you don't want to just lock in first look lineups and not adjust anything as news comes out. Just to give you guys, FYI, just in case you played the first look lineup and it smashed, it doesn't mean you need to put your whole bankroll on it every week, okay? All right, greenlightdfs.com, join the squad. Let's get it. Let's get right into the first look lineup. As you guys know, early on in the week, we pretty much just talk about the guys in the first look lineup, and then later on in the week on Friday, we'll do a full slate breakdown position by position and talk about everybody that we like, that we're interested in, and kind of break down a core per position. All right? Starting off at quarterback, we're going to go to the guy who had a huge week 9, and that's Justin Fields. The reason being is not just because he had a huge week last week, but he has been heating up and really finding his footing. Justin Fields gives you that amazing rushing floor. He ran for like 170 yards last week, which is crazy. I don't expect that again, but facing a Detroit team that gives it up on the ground and through the air, Justin Fields should be able to do whatever he wants. On top of that, it's very interesting to see the Bears as one of the top team totals on the slate. They're like top 3 team totals on the entire slate, so they're expecting Chicago to be able to do what they want to do here at home in Chicago, barring any like crazy bad weather or anything like that later on in the week. Justin Fields is going to be a fantastic option at 6'5" and a great matchup against Detroit. At running back, my favorite running back of the week is going to be Saquon Barkley this week going against Houston. You guys know the motto. You pick on Houston. Houston's the worst defense in the league versus the run, giving up a ton of yards per carry. Fantastic spot, okay? And for Saquon Barkley, a guy with the amount of talent he has in a favored situation here at home in New York, he is the only guy who gets carries here. He gets like a ton of carries in the Giants offense. He doesn't split with anybody like that. So Saquon Barkley is going to absolutely destroy Houston. Should have a huge game at 8-6. It's looking like Zeke might miss again. And with that being said, I'm going to adjust that projection as soon as we get definitive news on Zeke being out. But Tony Pollard at 6'5", if Zeke misses like I'm expecting him to possibly do, I mean, it's showing that Zeke came out and said like he's not feeling the best still. He's gonna have to wear a brace if he does get any work. He didn't get any work in on Monday, so it's a little concerning for him to make it back. And with Tony Pollard doing so well last week, I don't see them rushing him back in any way. Dallas is favored to do very well here. Tony Pollard's in a fantastic position here against Green Bay. Packers give up a good amount of yards per carry, like top 5 best matchups you can ask for yards per carry. And so Tony Pollard in a favored spot should definitely smash once again at 6'5". At wide receiver, first wide receiver I want to talk about is going to be Christian Kirk. Jacksonville is going to be playing from behind heavily here, and they go on against the Kansas City squad that's been giving it up to receivers, and rightfully so because they've been up a lot, and teams are just having to throw the ball a ton against them. Christian Kirk at 5'9", he's getting like 27%, I believe, something, 25, 27, something like that percent of targets when it comes to the wide receiver group. He's getting the most targets out of Jacksonville. They're going to be playing from behind. He's only 5'9". It just kind of fits very, very well into this build. I really like this spot for Christian Kirk. I wanted to get a piece of that highest total on the slate, and that is Kansas City. McCole Hardman gets you a piece of that at a cheap price. He's not getting a huge target share, but he is being utilized in this offense very creatively. There you go. Anyway, He got 9 targets last week. He's getting a decent amount of. He's going to get 5 to 9 targets in this. Going against Jacksonville, it's a fantastic matchup for receivers here. Kansas City's the highest total on the slate. Expect McCole Hardman to be a part of the onslaught that Kansas City puts on Jacksonville this week. And in this build with Christian Kirk running him back, just makes sense to grab that value receiver on Kansas City at 4-5. Next up, we're gonna go Darnell Mooney paired up with Justin Fields. Now, as you know, guys, you don't have to pair Justin Fields with anyone. This is just a fantastic matchup for him on the ground in every aspect of this game. So, and the receivers for him are cheap. Darnell Mooney's 5-5. He's getting like 27% of the Chicago's target share. That's a good amount of targets that he's getting on this offense. Yes, you brought in what's his damn name? They added Claypool to the offense. That didn't affect him too much in this last week. He still got like 29% of targets. So Darnell Mooney is going to still be the wide receiver one for Chicago, and at 5-5, he's an amazing price to me in what is a great matchup against Detroit. Next up, I'm just going ahead and getting exposure to it, man, because I mean these guys are too cheap. At 3-4, Cole Kmet got 20 something percent of the target share last week. Cole Kmet's a fantastic option at 3-4. I love him. Once again, this matchup is fantastic. Chicago's total is really solid, and they're just an offense I like getting exposure to because, yes, Justin Fields' price has jumped up from where it was in the beginning of the season, but rightfully so with the rushing ability he has and the fact that he's really taking off lately, and that's what I've been saying. For Justin Fields, this Chicago coaching staff has to come in and be like, look, what's his strong suit? That's how we need to play him. Stop trying to force him to drop back and throw the ball. Understand that his strong suit is moving around and let him do that. And lately they've really been doing that, and he's really been shining. So Chicago is a run-heavy team, and you don't want to normally stack up too much on the passing side, but honestly, this matchup's fantastic, and the pieces of that Chicago offense, which is like the second, third highest total on the entire slate, are cheap. So it just kind of fits very well here for me. And last but not least, Jamal Williams to get some run back of I'm going to go Jamal Williams to get some run back of all that Chicago. Now, you can go a bunch of different ways there. Jamal Williams just fits perfectly in the build that I'm working on here. Jamal Williams is a fantastic option. Now, I understand he doesn't get involved in the pass game, and DeAndre Swift would be more of the pass game running back. But Jamal Williams is going to get probably 20 carries here. I don't think this game gets out of hand on either side, so I think the run game will still be utilized. Jamal Williams is getting the lion's share of the running game. He got 24 carries last week for 81 yards. Chicago has been a bad run defense this year, so that's somewhere Detroit could definitely take advantage of them when they got the ball. And Jamal Williams is a talented back. We all know that. Jamal Williams is in a fantastic spot here. I think he's a solid option. And like I said, I just landed on this price. This is definitely a place that you can play with. But Jamal Williams, if he's going to get 20-something carries against a bad Chicago run D, I could see Detroit really moving the ball pretty well on the ground there, and Jamal Williams getting in the end zone and having a good game at 5-9 and running back the Chicago that we already have. All right, last but not least, at defense, you guys know how I feel about this. I mean, most of the time I like to just take value. The value on this slate is going to be the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 2-7 going against the Rams, who have given up the most fantasy points to defenses this year, so you can go the Cardinals. We're landing on a 3-2 spot. So at 3-2, you've got the Titans against Denver, which is interesting because Denver is just, they're just not very good, unfortunately. Everybody thought they were going to be like one of the best teams in the league this year after bringing Russell in, and they're just not doing nothing. So they're interesting defense. They can be played. The Bears against Detroit, possibly at home in Chicago. And then yeah, the Cardinals. The Cardinals as my cheap defense. And then if you want to pay up a little bit more, then it would be those other options that I've mentioned, like the Titans against Denver at home. Um, the Bears are all decent options that you can go with. When it comes to spending up for defense, I probably won't spend up here in this range for any defenses this week, honestly. It just doesn't feel like I need to do that. Um, no spots that I'm really like, oh yeah, I got to definitely take advantage of. So I'm definitely probably spending down a defense this week, and most weeks that's what you need to do. So Anyways, thank you guys for joining me as always. First look lineup is Justin Fields, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard as long as Zeke is out, Christian Kirk, McCole Hardman, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, Jamal Williams to run back that Chicago, and then Arizona Cardinals defense or Titans defense or Chicago defense, any of those defenses. I'm not going to be spending up for many defenses this week, though. All right? Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Let's go out there and smash week 10, baby. Thank you guys for joining me. And I'm about to make the NBA high five video for today's slate right after I get done with this one. All right? So be checking for that. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm out.